She's got it here. Front row. Who's he with? Some engineering firm.
Yeah.
Who?
I can't remember.
Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Everybody please stand. We'll say a pledge and a prayer. Denise, can I ask you to say the prayer? Why would you lead the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, Father, we come before you, very flawed human beings, praising you and thanking you that you gave us government recognizing our flaws. Praising you and thanking you and asking for wisdom. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Have approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as written.
Second.
Todd's made a motion, Tony second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Why? Public comment, Ms. Brenton,
Yes.
would you come forward, please?
Good morning, Commissioners, and good morning, public. I would like to thank Phil Marshall for following the law and restoring Hardinsburg with your vote right after you were sued by the PAC for Hardinsburg. And I'd like to again thank Commissioner Marshall for following the grant requirements in the law for the $1.5 million community crossing grant right after the threat of punishment arrived in the form of a letter from the state of Indiana. I'd like to recognize the hubris of Commissioner Chewin for voting against both of those things, for voting against the rights of the citizens of Hardinsburg, and also for those who seem to be more politically well-connected than myself and the other poor people in this county. You know, one of the things about the Constitution is it starts out, "We the people," and it lets everybody know that we.
Put your mic.
Oh, thank you. Ooh, all of a sudden you can hear me. And the Constitution starts out, "We the people," to recognize the fact that the people are over the government and the government is subordinate to the people. I appreciate the lady's prayer, but I don't agree with the recognition of government as something that is given by God. In fact, in the Old Testament, when the people demanded a king, God warned them against that. But yet, people in their foolishness demanded rulers anyway. What I would like to know from the commissioners, and this is a question for each of you, is will you uphold the Constitution for the United States of America? The Constitution recognizes our individual liberty, our life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, in that are private property laws where we own ourselves, and we also own and have the right to the property that we own. I'm specifically referring to property taxes in this state. You see, when I go to work and I exchange my talent for somebody else's green pieces of paper, I can then use those little green pieces of paper to acquire other property. That was not a profit, that was not a commercial transaction, that was merely an exchange. We are taxed in this state on our cars. That's essentially a right to travel issue, or we've been taxed on a right to travel. You have a right to live in your abode, in your home, and yet we are taxed for that. Now, a lot of people don't realize how bad those taxes are because they are administered at 1 to 3%. It's a slow bleed. But over the term of a 30-year mortgage, most people will have paid enough taxes to actually equal the amount that they paid their property for. They paid for their property. That is not liberty. There are commercial transactions which the Constitution recognizes could be taxed. It is not a commercial transaction to have dormant property earning no income, which is the situation that most of us find ourselves in. We're not operating our cars in a commercial manner. We're not operating our homes in a commercial manner. Those, by the Constitution, should not be taxed. So my questions for all of the commissioners are,
Brenton, your time is up.
The
Thank you.
Constitution of the United States of America, which property taxes is something in contravention.
I think your time's up.
Ms. Brenda, I'm gonna ask you to quit making references to lawsuits that have not been filed. That's erroneous information, and I wanna make sure the public knows the commissioners have not been sued. There's not been any lawsuits in reference to your first statement. Thank you.
Did we not, let me ask a clarifying question. Was there not a PAC that filed a lawsuit against the commissioners for the purpose of restoring Hardinsburg and illegal activities?
That's not what you were referring to.
No, that's actually exactly what I was referring to. If you'd like to replay my
Your
statements.
time is up, thank you.
Without a question, without the answer, I'd like to note from the commissioners who have not, who have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution, but currently are not doing it.
Pam Lockhart. How are you this morning?
All right.
Morning.
First of all, I would like to thank the commissioners that have helped the senior citizens the last 2 years. You don't know how well we appreciated that. Nobody else has ever done that for us. Nobody else probably ever will. Now, I bet in 6 months' time, Hardinsburg will take the building away from senior citizens and make it their new building to have their town meetings in. Because that's what they did last night, and I wasn't told that he was, it's a Hardinsburg building, and they will do what they want.
They can use it when they want.
Sometimes on Monday nights, we do have the church rents that building to have their women's meeting. They changed it from the last month to the first of the month, I never know when. So basically, if they decide to have that they want that building, they usually let me know a few days ahead. They won't get it because they're gonna use it.
Hardinsburg does own,
I understand that.
and I mean, I'm just telling you the way it
But
was wrote up.
it was not built for the Hardinsburg, it was built for senior citizens.
And it was considered an asset to the town of Hardinsburg, and it was on all your bank statements as an asset to the town. I can't say that I agree with everything. I can only go by what rules state. And I think I know your feelings. But,
Because like all the paperwork says, the grant was for senior citizens to be used.
then if that's what it states on the law, I haven't read that, but I'd have to read it.
So, I don't know, but I just wanted to thank you all. As far as, like I said, I believe they will take over and do what they want, whenever they want.
It wouldn't have mattered to us, but I got mad last night because Tony lives right down the street from me and he wouldn't stop by and tell me what was going on. They just opened the building on their own and never even notified us. They pasted the thing on the building down at our senior citizen yesterday morning. I got it on a clip on Facebook, and I went down and I told Tony I didn't think much of it.
Well, I would hope that the town does restructure with board members who will take an active part and communicate with each other and be a community.
Well, as of last night, I don't see that ever happening.
I believe they started that process last night, actually, and instead of thinking about what may happen, maybe, ask them what's gonna happen, talk to them, they're pretty nice people, so it's a nice
I did
community.
talk to them last night.
Well, to a
And
degree.
besides, you give a key to a guy that wasn't
Okay,
even
Ms.
on the
Lockhart, your
board
time
yet.
is up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But nobody there can take it from you, and just work coincide with them, and everything will be good.
Yeah.
So you better stop and give us the information before you just open the building and go in.
Well, I'll clean the building out.
Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes of the June 17th meeting?
Yes, sir.
Any objections, any changes?
No, make a motion to approve.
Second.
Todd's made a motion, Tony second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Claims. Any questions? On claims?
No.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept the claims.
Tony's made a motion.
Second.
Todd second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Highway project. Morning, Paul. How are you this morning?
All right. Avoid charge. Good morning. Quick update out at the highway garage. You've been by there, the masonry did get started there on the office. They will continue weather permitting. Seems like we're not having blazing heat, now we got rain, so they will be out there weather permitting. On the inside of the office there, they got the duct work ran and everything. Basically waiting for the drop ceiling to get dropped, but I need to get plumbing and a little bit more of electrical established on the walls. And then did get with Bill, the county IT gentleman, he was worried about one of his conduits, and I told him how to access it, so he should be good on his access. Going to the mechanics garage, that we did pour concrete on the office, storage portion of the concrete of the mechanics garage, and the Parks Plumbing, still need to come out and adjust their drains, which he said would probably be there tomorrow to adjust his drains in the garage portion of the building, and we're looking for that next week, and then start going up.
You're saying the back part of the garage?
Yes, sir, where the
Yeah.
work.
Well, I seen the front part was done yesterday when I was out there.
Yes. So those grates and frames are just a little bit off, and we just want the tolerance tightened up a little bit on that. Also there on the mixed salt and the salt buildings, got all the walls up on it. Gonna pour the slab at the mixed salt building tomorrow, which is 80 by 100, and then the salt building will probably be the next day, Thursday. We'll pour that, and at that point, Graybird has everything they need to go vertical out of those two buildings. You've been out there also, you've probably seen walls for footings and walls for two sections of the ag bins right now. We'll probably concentrate more on concrete everywhere else, just because the ag bins, nobody's occupying them. So we'll probably jump to the site concrete, all the slabs around the buildings, everything that's needed to kind of button everything up there. Septic field, it's wet today. We'll get out there and get that in here probably here in July. We'll get that installed. We did start bringing the storm sewer on, install more storm sewer on site, which we need to get that to grade first before we run we gotta cross it with our sewer line from the mechanics garage.
Right.
So we'll get that established, and then we'll run that up to the field. So storm drainage is going in right now. We're trying to collect as much as we can surface wise, and then we'll pipe the mechanics garage over to the catch basins and get that out of there. And then the gentleman from Graber on the framing, we're supposed to meet here. I told him this afternoon, tomorrow morning. They're coming from Washington, just want to go over all the little fine details on the buildings and make sure they know what's minor changes have happened with the walls and everything, like the extra drywall, what have you, for the fire code, and then we'll start going vertical.
Will that be steel sleeved on that pipe going across from the office to the Litchfield? Or Schedule 80?
The parking area, yes, or the driveway entrance.
Yeah, the driveway.
Yeah.
The driveway, we can sleeve it, probably won't be steel sleeved, but we'll put it inside the Schedule 45.
Okay. Okay.
And that should all be gravity right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was the other thing? Oh, Midwest. Have you talked to them?
I haven't talked to them in the last couple of weeks, but I kind of put them on notice, hey, we're doing this, we gotta get our water in, we gotta get our our sewer in, because the gas line doesn't need to be at grade.
Right,
I need to get the grade items in first, a little bit further back.
okay.
Yeah, how thick are the mineral bin walls? Me and Phil was wondering.
The aggregate bins?
Yeah,
12.
12, I thought, yeah, I
And the
guess.
footings a little bit more. I mean, we didn't want it to be more, but when
Well,
you
he was
bust it
hoping
up,
it was gonna be 18, is what he was saying.
there's only one wall out there that's 18.
I'm joking.
No, 18.
There's only one wall out there, 18, and that's the shared wall between, the mixed salt building and the salt building where they share that common wall, because it didn't have any dead men on it. So we did, the engineer told us to put that at 18. The other walls are 14, the ag bins are 12. And the footings are probably a little bit more just because of how there's a little bit of rock over there, so when you take rock out, it doesn't come out clean. So there's a little bit thicker footings there than what we anticipated, so,
Well, that's good for us.
yes. Got a little bit more.
Electric,
I couldn't hear you.
electric,
I talked to Joey about that, and basically just waiting on me to get that water line through.
okay.
So the Mason's using the water right now, right up front. So,
And the pond out front,
yes,
the pond out front of the building, is it done?
it probably needs one final dress just to give it its shape again.
Okay,
It's grown up with weeds right now, but, yeah, we'll get it, we'll reshape it before we leave.
okay. Anything else?
I'm good.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Zach, did you get all the numbers you mentioned for insurance?
I got some information.
This how we're looking for the budget?
Yeah, y'all will have that ready for you. I'm gonna be hopping on a call with Anthem here about 10:30, right after this meeting. They're interested in keeping you guys, so we were going over claims data. Claims are high. So yeah, it's not, I got a sheet here. I'll pass it out. This is just the Anthem billing versus claims paid so far, and this is just September through March. A lot of different data on that, but down at the bottom, kind of highlighted the amount of premium paid for the medical insurance, so just from September through March, so that's how much claims data we've got finalized. Amount paid, premium-wise, is $733,060.23. Total claims paid, $729,373. So, as you know, and everybody knows, insurance companies like winning. And they're barely ahead right now, or actually they're just barely ahead. So I anticipate it's gonna be an increase. I'm hoping it's in single digits, but it's not looking too good with that type of claims paid versus premium paid. So we may be hitting double digits on this renewal. I've got, with it being fully insured, we've got Anthem, as you know, Humana's not in the group space anymore, so we're left with Anthem and United Healthcare as fully insured options. You've got level funded options, but with the health of the group as of right now, you're probably not gonna qualify for level funded. And then on self-funded, I know the counties went down that road before and they don't want anything to go down that road again. So we're kind of stuck with Anthem and United, see what kind of battle that they want to take on for you guys. But I will be on a phone call here this morning with Anthem to see what we got.
Okay.
So I'll be in touch, and we'll get you on the schedule for next meeting to go over everything, and we'll be ready to go for open enrollment one way or another for in that first, second week in August, and then September 1st will be the renewal date. But yeah, I wanted to kind of show you that. Yeah, that didn't perform too well this year, as you can see. There's one other, the high cost claimants was another one. We've increased, there's a couple more that was added this past year on high cost claimants. Obviously that's blinded for protection of those individuals. But then also I've got a sheet here that I'll share. This is the top 10 prescribed drugs by paid amount. I'll just share top 2 prescribed drugs. Ozempic with 232 scripts. Mounjaro, these are both anti-diabetic drugs, with Mounjaro with 110 scripts. Out of just the top 10 scripts that have been run, it accounts for 136,000 of the 188,000 of scripts cost. So it's a pretty large chunk there just in that top 10 of the drugs. But yeah, the top 10 is about 9.8% of the total scripts. So there's a lot of cost in that top 10. But yeah, I mean that's it just kind of fell a little bit on the health of the group. But I hope the call this morning with Benton is going to go well, and we can kind of see where the numbers lie.
Well, that's not good news.
So
Yeah, no, I didn't want to bring bad news today, but that's kind of the breakdown of premium versus cost of the claims. So it happens. Groups, it's waves. Similar groups will be healthy for years, and all of a sudden, boom, some kind of diagnosis happens, and just kind of part of it.
That's not really making me feel any better.
I hope we can swing things around and have a good, healthy year this upcoming year.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted.
So you'll be talking with them this morning?
Yes, I'll be talking to them this morning,
Okay.
seeing what they can do for us.
Okay.
So just, I don't want you going into any details, but so you're saying these so-called diabetic drugs, these top 10 are accounting for $136,000 of the $188,000 of claims, and aren't these, I mean, these are like weight loss drugs, right?
They are labeled as anti-diabetics, but I think they have been prescribed outside that. But I'm not a doctor, so.
And we are basically footing the bill for that. Looks like.
Yeah, the claim amounts there, 136,000 for the top 10. I've got the list here. There's other drugs on that top 10, obviously, but there's five of the 10 are anti-diabetic.
Is there anybody besides, I know we've talked about this, it keeps getting worse all the time, especially with some of these insurance companies just getting out of the business altogether because it's not as profitable, insuring counties, municipalities and things. But other than Anthem and United, who else insures counties? Anybody?
Well, yeah, there's other spaces with level funded, and that's kind of that in between of self-funded and fully insured. It's a lot more protections for you guys. They underwrite the group is the issue. On fully insured, they just have to accept it. With everything that's inside the group, when you get into level funded, they underwrite and they can say, yeah, we want you or we don't want you. This year is probably gonna be really tough to even accept to court. Just if I sent premium versus claims at that high.
When you got the number of employees you got, that's what you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's the tricky part is there's a lot of bodies that are insured. I always like to, with the Humana, they had to go through 65, and that kind of, you try, you get points and rewards, and kept people a little bit more active, I felt like. And that's something that we could maybe even look at. There are companies, third-party companies that will do more of your wellness initiatives to keep people active. And
I've never really seen the gain that much.
you gotta have the buy-in of the employees.
We had some employees, and I want to commend them. Of course, it's gone now, but when that first came out, we had several. I mean, naturally, with over 200 employees, it wasn't everybody. It wasn't even half, but maybe only 10 or 15% that really took an interest in their own health and kind of helped us a little bit. And maybe that's something we ought to look into again. Some people can take advantage of this, and it would help everyone as a whole. It's just a shame that everybody doesn't see it the same way and tries to take better care of themselves, but they'll be the sufferers of that when the time comes, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the cost obviously is not going down. The cost of healthcare, and then you got the insurance side of it, it's just it's a double whammy. Yeah.
Well, it's one of the big expenses we've got in the county, and it always has been.
Yeah, it's not slowing down, it seems like.
Nope. I would like Zach to be put on the agenda next month, if you don't care, come back in.
Yeah, this next meeting this month, and then, all of August if you want.
August is, our budget is when, June 20th?
August 20th.
August 20th.
Yeah,
So,
I'm hoping to have a good conversation here at 10:30, and I'll have numbers.
well, definitely want you to come back in the 1st of August then, for the next meeting.
Okay, yeah, and then, second one this month, and then the 1st of August.
Yeah, and if you got anything on the 2nd,
You're having a joint meeting on the
15th.
7th.
I'm sorry.
Joint meeting on the 7th,
You're having a joint meeting on the 7th
week from
with the
Yes.
council.
On
Would you
the
want to
7th?
come on that one
Okay,
too?
this month, okay, yeah.
If you get any information on that.
Yeah, like I said, I should know the route, where we're gonna head. The one thing that kind of scares me is United on the fully insured space, they haven't been really that competitive, so, I'm just hoping Anthem comes through and get that, down as low as we can.
Okay, appreciate it, Zach.
Good.
Thank you.
Any more questions, or?
We're good. Thank you.
Anything? Preston?
Good.
Okay. Thank you.
They forget the rest.
Sorry about that, Lisa.
Rick not here?
Nope.
Okay. April?
Yes, if I could, I just want to update everybody on the commissioners being compliant with the new law that went into effect today, how it applies to live streaming. So the commissioners have been actually live streaming, but this is a new law now that applies to some governing agencies. Commissioners are included. These meetings are now required by statute under the open door statutes to be live streamed. This would apply to many different agencies, but as far as we're concerned, it is the commissioners, but also county councils, townships, elected school boards, city councils, county councils. There are many platforms that these agencies can use. They're free: YouTube, Zoom, so there's no cost. I believe that we're using YouTube, so that's available, and I just wanted to share that you all are compliant, and that is a new law that's taking effect today.
Okay,
And those will be shared, there's more to the statute, but just giving everybody an idea of what that entails. So it'll be on our website, there'll be links to the archived meetings.
and this
So the
explain
public,
that,
right, so the public access counselor is actually the agency that that this law falls under their purview. It's the open door laws, so you can go on to the public access counselor's website, and she's provided a good summary, and then of course the statute, you can reference the statute if you wanted to get some more information, but the gist of it is, we are now live streaming. We'll provide those links on the website and on the notices of the meetings.
okay? All right,
Thank you.
Cameron,
I don't have anything.
Jonathan? Tony?
No, sir.
Todd?
I'm good, thank you.
Preston?
No. Good.
Brad?
I'm good. Budget's coming, we know that.
Do what?
Budget's coming.
We having one this year?
I think we are.
Okay.
Don't know how to go.
You bringing the donuts?
No, you always bring it.
Or no?
You expect him to buy anything?
I would.
Now Brad will.
I think either one of us would. Work together.
Motion to adjourn.
Just a second, I will
Oh,
mention that there will be a joint meeting, Monday, the 7th, with the council. Darren Bates will be here to kind of go over that Senate Bill 1.
Okay, at 9 o'clock,
Yes.
okay? Expect to see both of you there.
There.
Todd's made a motion, Tony seconded, and was it vice versa?
no,
Don't
that's
matter.
right.
We agreed on it, so it'll be all right.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.